Hi, this is Shirish Kulkarni, founder and CEO of Stroth Consultech, helping small and medium businesses to grow for last 5 years. And in this new initiative called as Hatke, we are talking to various entrepreneurs, various thought leaders, people who are looking at the situation in a different way, a so-called constraint or difficult situation as it is getting referred as. So we have a great honors to have Samir Agashe, who is actually driving a very, very different type of a Hatke kind of a platform called as Litmus Box, which is into qualification of talents. Great to have you, Samir, on this platform.
Thanks, Shirish. Thanks for inviting me. Hello, everybody.
Can you quickly tell us about what is this Litmus Box all about?
Actually, I was into multiple industries, domains, and also into business consulting for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
What I realized is that getting the right person, right fit man was always a challenge, whether it was a small company, 5 people company, or a 20,000 people company. So, what does right mean? When I questioned a lot of people, it was a very gray area. It was a very subjective area. What is right? What is a good Java developer or a project manager for me? I can only tell you, get me a good project manager. And you will tell me, yes, sir, I will get you a good project manager. But then there is so much of a gap, so much of a discrepancy. So we actually developed a methodology whereby we deconstruct work into 3, 4 drill down levels. And we kind of formulated a hierarchical dictionary or a library of everything that happens in the world, kind of. Whatever work happens, you can keep on drilling it down. So this is a
All the roles, job
yeah,
descriptions. Okay.
all industries. So this is a patent pending methodology that we are working on.
Wow.
And over the last 2, 3 years, we have built platforms about use cases in hiring, use cases in internal employee capability benchmarking, training and development, and these kind of use cases. So we went into our commercial launch this January, after developing the IP and platform for last and doing a lot of trials. So just about when we were to hit our first order, in fact, we just got our first order. A lot of demos were very promising, and then this COVID situation hit. So now nobody is thinking of hiring. In fact, people are thinking of downsizing. So our business case has been completely kind of turned on its head, so to say.
Okay.
So not to get bogged down, we are now getting into repositioning ourselves and what best we can do to manage in this situation. So after these 2, 3 months of lockdown or the dull period, couple of quarters, I'm sure we'll be emerging out with a much stronger platform. So that's about Litmus Blocks.
Wonderful. So I'm getting a sense, big smile on your face in irrespective of where you honestly tell that, okay, it is turned around on the head. There's nothing, to look at right now. But then, what keeps you motivated? I think, that's a $1 million question, right?
See, right from leaving corporate life in 2011, completely leaving the whole consulting business in 2017, the whole idea that drives me is, am I able to make a change? Am I able to make a difference to somebody? So this whole idea of Litmus Block state, if there is a pain out there, people are spending restless hours, days, months, getting frustrated on finding the right people. How can we help? So the whole thing is about can we help? And even today, when I say that my business case is turned on, that I can definitely and very clearly see that I can help, or we as a platform can help. So I think once you see that you can help, then there is nothing which really should stop you and which can stop you. So it's just a matter of finding out how you can help, or the modalities will keep on fine tuning through this period. But if there is a pain and if you have a desire to help, and I mean, I always say there are three things. One is a pain has to be there. Second is a willingness to serve that pain has to be there. And third is the ability to do something about it has to be there. So I think all three are there. So there is nothing which should stop.
I think great to see this gesture of giving and a gratitude about what you are possessing in the skills. So that's really inspiring, Samir. Now talking about this platform and competency mapping. I see a little bit of situation where people are puzzled, right? And it's a great opportunity as we see it in the form of reskilling ourselves, looking at gaining more knowledge, gaining more insights of different types of things that either we are interested or eventually the market is interested.
Right.
So what's your perspective on that, Samir?
See, I think one thing which is coming out very clearly from this COVID is, like you earlier mentioned, is the need to survive. So, be it an enterprise or be it an individual employee or a businessman, the strong driver for the next few quarters is going to be survival. So, if I am an employee, my whole focus is going to be, do I survive any downsizing or any other things that happen in my company? If I'm a company, I will say how am I most cost efficient and how am I most optimized from a survival perspective. So what is coming out very clearly is everybody's utilization and contribution to the business will be questioned, undoubtedly be questioned.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people after 5-10 years of experience have gone into middle levels where I won't call it a flab, but somewhere there are layers built in an organization which are doing more of coordination, perception management, going on calls, 10 people going on calls. So all these things will be seriously questioned. uh, Salary downsizing will be a better option if somebody goes for it. Otherwise, it's going to be, especially for that, the heads are going to roll somewhere
Mm-hmm.
or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And many people are then going to be available as freelancers, so to say,
Mm-hmm.
because they have some life skills, they have experience of 15, 20 years, and they are available. So, how to harness all this latent talent that will be available out there into the market is going to be a question for the entrepreneurs. For example, uh, not to call it a gig economy per se, but there will be people available at freelance, probably at 25% of the cost. But how do you really track them? How do you really find them? How do you
Mm-hmm.
distribute work to them? How do you really ensure that the work gets fulfilled? So these are the kind of new roles somewhere, and this also maps to working from home concept. So I think some very smart roles will evolve around work breakdown and aggregation of work. Can work be broken down into pieces and distributed to people?
Mm-hmm.
And can that be integrated back on a timeline and on a cost perspective? And can that be? So these are some new roles which will emerge. The earlier conventional project manager who had a team, so to say, with him or her, used to be reasonably co-located, or even it was remote, everything was in controlled environment. Now we are
Mm-hmm.
talking about a person who can distribute work, and after 1 day, 2 day, through everyday stand-up calls and whatnot, aggregate the work back again. So this is going to be a new key role in any organization, in my opinion.
Superb. And your platform would be capable to cater to and tailor to that kind of an extension of various roles to be accommodated and
Yeah, I
helping.
mean, see, my platform definitely will work towards that. We are still a startup, so I'm sure by the time we mature to the complete product market fit, it may take 6 months, 1 year, 1 year. But this need will come probably ahead of that. So, in general, as a direction, I think people should start looking at how, what does a person have really in him or
Mm.
her, and
Mm.
how can I use that, which is much beyond just 10 years experience of project management. So we need to double click into that. Everything that
Mm.
gets said, we need to double click and say कि इसमें really वो करता क्या है, करती क्या
Mm.
है, और उसका मुझे फायदा किस चीज का हो रहा है. So you
Mm.
might have to bring it down at very granular level instead of keeping it at a very high level aggregation.
Right. I see a kind of a need for introspection from both sides, the employer sides, to really find out what is the role that I'm looking for, while from the employee side, the prospective employee side or candidate side, what am I actually capable of? What
Right.
is the niche? What is the specialty? What is the passion that I have, and how
Right.
I can add value? I think that's what.
Yes, in fact, Shirish, I'll go one step ahead and I'll say that efficiency from a company side will now start driving everything. There was hesitation to adopt technologies, especially that we are now focusing in HR space. HR
Mm,
technology was always a
last thing to
dragger.
come.
It was always looked upon as a cost center. Nobody really invested in technology per se, and the HR ecosystem themselves were not very adept to new technologies. So
Mm,
what I am seeing is, especially in this space, there is a lot of scope for adopting new technologies and very efficient ways of doing things. And people talk of AI, ML, and all, but beyond a certain point, even AI, ML is not that level of mature today that it will start delivering business results.
mm-hmm.
So the thought process has to be what can drive me very fast and very optimized decisions. So be it hiring the way we are looking, or be it training. See today what is happening, people are just sitting at home, so everybody is telling everybody else, please get trained. You get
Okay.
yourself upskilled and all. So what people are doing, they're going to some online seminars, webinars, and
Mm,
upskilling themselves. 2 days, 5 days, 10 days. Now, is that whole 10 days of work effort exactly required for this person? Nobody is looking at. So role-based learning or role-based training, what we call, that has a big scope for I think in the coming
Mm,
quarters. Instead of just training, everybody should train for 10 days and all. What is the most relevant part of it? So the role relevance is again, I come back to the same thing. What is most relevant for person A may be not be same relevant as person B. So how do you differentiate between all of this in a very very efficient manner? So that is the call which HRs will have to take,
mm,
be it hiring or be it upskilling of people. And
right.
from employees' perspective, I think I always feel that there are three key talents, and this has got nothing to do with my solution or my startup. This is a
Mm,
general wisdom that I feel I have gathered,
right.
and many people keep on sharing about this. The three basic skills are now going to be learnability. You will be quickly put in a situation where you have to learn something, and how do you learn that on your own or through some guidance or whatever? I mean, that's left to you. But A, learnability, B, ability to quickly form relationships, because you will now no more get a luxury of being bonded together with somebody, with a team for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Because of virtual working, I'm talking about the non-core manufacturing sector.
Mm, mm,
There the challenges will be different, but here you might be in touch with teams whom you have never met. Now, this used to work between America and India, between Europe and India, between Noida and Pune, somewhere, but still there were common bonding periods available to people. Now, what is happening is you will be immediately required to gel with somebody whom you just don't know. So, an
mm,
ability to quickly form working relationships, at least above damage control. And the third is the ability to articulate. These kind of bandwidth hungry things will not allow you to go on a whiteboard. It will not allow you to tell your Ram Katha to somebody. So it
mm.
will be a very concise 1 minute, half-minute opportunity available to you to tell something that the next person has to understand. So the ability to articulate is the third skill, which I think is now going to be very critical.
I think that's well put, Samir. Now, thinking about an entrepreneur who has started something and got to certain level, it is definitely a hatke thing where that person kind of gets outlier. There is always said that uh, it's where the entrepreneur is always alone, right? Sense of alone, and that is sense of pride also, if we flip it around. So for you, I think you have been doing this journey. Coming out of corporate was one step, then starting with a platform, another platform was another big step. How do you find yourself as an entrepreneur who has thought a little bit of ahead of time, and maybe have to change the gear? Samir would like to
Yeah.
hear that.
So I think the very critical learning I got. I always think of myself as somebody who lives life 5 years ahead of times, kind of thing. So
Mm,
I think, not only think, I also tend to believe that that is how the world is going to become, and I try to be like that. What is going to be actually 5 years from today? So I initially started, especially for this platform, my estimation or my assumption of adoption of something by the users, which seems so obvious to me, I found a lot of challenges. So I went to market for trials, user trials, and came back 3 times. Now that we have finally think we have hit the mojo, but it took 3 attempts to go to the market, and while everybody liked it phenomenally, fantastic, Samir, यही चाहिए दुनिया को.
mm,
But will you use it? Will you adopt it? So while you may think as a forward-looking person something is very obvious, a person who is either not so forward-thinking or who is too much entrenched in his own legacy of work will appreciate it, but adoption will take a lot of things. Now, this is what all the great books have said, but finally you have to go through it to learn yourself. So that is, I think, my biggest learning, that what you see and what people see in something may be different, and people may not see what you are able to see into something.
I know you for your love to music and singing. I remember one song actually, if I may put it across. मैं जिंदगी का साथ निभाता चला गया, मैं हर फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया. Is that resonates to you, Samir?
Yes, I mean, there is a difference between courage and foolishness, and that's a very fine line.
Mm.
So I am trading that line, because quite a few people, especially in the early days, told me that, Samir, you are not doing business; you are actually taking up a cause. You
Ah,
want to set things right in the way the world recruits today. You want to set things right in the way the world looks at talent. So this
wow.
is business. This is a cause that you are taking up. And when you take up a cause on yourself, while people like it, people may appreciate it and all, the fight has to be, you have to fight your own battles. So while doing that, definitely there were anxious moments, be it about fundraising, be it about all kinds of typical startup problems. And I've been through that. I'm actually going through that even today. So what keeps you again focused out of all of this is, like I said, if you are extremely clear about what you are doing, and if you have a belief that there is a larger ecosystem, and if things are not happening, it's just that you are not done the right things. You keep on doing, and other things will fall in place. So I have a very good tagline, so to say, ki you do what you should do, and that what should happen will happen.
Oh,
So that's my equivalent of that's the fuel through which वो फिक्र को धुएं में उड़ाता चला गया. So without smoking, I am able to manage that.
yeah, I think that resonates well, Samir. So, what I would like to ask, in that big smile that you have, in the enthusiasm that you have, the creativity in the form of whatever you create in the form of poems, the songs, what keeps you kicked up in the morning? What's that secret juice?
Frankly, Shirish, there is at one point it can be called as a lack of being afraid of anything. So,
Mm,
आज क्या होगा की फिक्र उस टाइप से नहीं रहती है.
mm,
Second thing is, there is so much to do and so little time that you never feel कि अभी क्या किया जाए.
mm,
If you have like Corona, we are there in the middle of something. I am seeing that I am extremely busy at my work only. So
क्या
my
बात
work
है?
is consuming 10 hours a day.
Super.
And practically like I am going to office. And
Mm,
then there are these things around you, like in our housing society, there was a day which was full of competitions,
mm,
Gana video dalo, ye karo, wo karo. In fact, I was anchoring one of the events where all of us, almost 200 people came on, 200 families came on their balconies,
super.
and they sang kind of positive songs in the evening together, just like Modi ji made people light lamps. In our
Brilliant.
society, 200, 300, 400 people came out on their galleries, and so there is so much to be done actually. So if you have time not to do anything, and then you are anxious about future, that will start bogging you. So either you are busy into all these things, or then you are doing absolutely nothing and just relaxing, like watching TV for half an hour, and it completely shut off from the world. So these anxious thoughts don't really come. And whenever I close one thing, there is always something else to be done. Even if it is sleeping, it's waiting for me. कि चलो अब ये हो गया, अब सो जाते हैं. So क्या करने का is never a question for me. So that way it keeps me going.
Wonderful. I think that's very well said, Samir. I think maybe a kind of a question that will trigger your creativity. So, what's up to your mind as Hatke? I think the close thing that to your heart is about education, right? So, what is the Hatke thing you're thinking now?
See, in this going through all this journey, when you also are into this space of business consulting, we meet people where we feel there is so much to be told.
Mm,
If this concept is known to them, or if this practice is known to them, they'll benefit so much, and so on and so forth. But all that makes you wonder ki the next pipeline that's going into this whole industry, the youngsters who are going in today, as we are now aware, through the corona crisis, the awareness has become more prominent, is the way the colleges and institutions are running today.
mm,
That completely may change. People will shift more from a very structured course of 3 years, 4 years, into pockets of training, online
mhm, mhm,
courses. So the structure of education itself is undergoing a lot of change. Now, at a macro
mm,
level, none of us as a citizen is aware ki exactly who is working on that, in what direction things are going. So my Hatke thought always lies with those students, boys and girls, who are in the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, kind of up to graduation level.
mhm, mhm,
That typical vulnerable bracket of 6, 7 years, where they feel bored, they don't have any motivation, they don't know what to do. But in spite of all the constraints that they may face and all the anxieties of their parents, I think somewhere capsules of knowledge, wisdom, experience, education need to be given to them, so that
mm,
they're better equipped to lead a professional life, no matter what profession they choose, and they are more, well versed with, what kind of world awaits them, which is unfortunately not happening in the colleges today. So my Hatke concept is probably to start some kind of a ecosystem where this bracket of students, boys and girls, should go some level of transformation in a graduated manner. It cannot be an
Okay.
immediate transformation, but typically it works like a funnel. You input 1,000 guys. The first 600 may just drop off at first level, and they may feel good at knowing something. There may be 200 who may go further and get further tuned. So that's a kind of a feeder line which I would like to kind of establish as an ecosystem. And if that becomes a replicable model, all the more better, because nowadays everything needs to be digitally scaled up and that kind of a thing. So that's my Hatke concept. My current enterprise is keeping me busy for a couple of years at least, but parallelly, conceptually, I am contemplating a few things around that.
Wonderful.
Somewhere during this journey, I'll also start working on that.
Wonderful. So I see a kind of a pipeline of right from getting from the college or during the college to get it either employee ready or college ready, to college, from college employee ready, to learn the ecosystem, to graduate further in your journey towards throughout the corporate, maybe an entrepreneur also. I think that is the view that you have,
Yeah.
horizontally spreading, where you are
And
helping.
more than skills, it will operate much at a deeper level than skills. Skills, I believe, can always be acquired through training or practice. But something at a thought process level, and the way you build your belief system, how you look at the world, and then developing the understanding of correlation between different aspects. I mean, something about market, something about finance, and how all of them are interlinked. If that clarity gets developed, then skills, depending on your liking, you can from a hotel management to a financial CA, you can pick up anything that you want.
So
But these
something, right. Something like Toyota Management System, which kind of looked at manufacturing with building of different culture, looking towards quality. I believe something as large as that.
Yeah.
Your,
So,
your,
yeah, I mean, it's more about a culture. It's ideally supposed to be a national culture. I call it Rashtriya Charitra, but that's too big a word right now for me to say because of my current engagement.
engagements.
But something about the way a generation thinks, or a way a set of people think. If you can influence that at a building block level, that's how I would like to work on.
Yeah. So Samir, everybody has got some kind of thing that we follow, either some saying or something as a personality who is a role model. For me, it is Ratan Tata. I definitely look at all the dimension of his personality. Is there any role model that you have that you look up to?
Shirish, there is no single role model that I have. We say that Guru. There is a saying in Marathi, "Jo je dekhile tyas Guru kela." So there is actually a something to model on in a lot of people. You, in your case, like when I look at you, I take the enthusiasm, the zeal, the positivity from you. So I do not have a single role model, who I want to emulate or something. It's because for me, role model is more like a Guru Tattva. And Guru Tattva can be sensed in so many people in so many different ways. A book can be a guru, something else can be a guru. So the idea is that wherever you feel something is required, or where you feel that something can be added upon from somebody onto you, that becomes my role model. So like you said, Ratan Tata, definitely yes, but then Ratan Tata has done some 3, 4, 5 things which are very close to my heart. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to be like Ratan Tata or something like that. So my idea of role model is not to be like somebody in a person toto, but to pick up all those Guru Tattva, so to say, from different people.
I think it's a larger concept that you're talking about, where you're looking at situations, personalities, anything that is what you're put into. You're trying to use that as something that you are siphoning out positivity and experiences that you can learn. I think it's a bigger concept that you're talking. It's a good thing. So maybe coming to the last leg of it, any message that you want to give to the community, either entrepreneurs, employees, candidates, anything that you want to give as a vibe to encourage them?
Yeah, I mean, see, from my side, it's too large a thing to give a message to somebody, because everybody is mature in their own right. I mean, there is no universal message which is applicable to everybody. Ye karo, wo karo. There is no prescriptive message per se. But I would simply like to say that I have seen during this, I think that people getting panicked out of fictitious anxieties. So that is something which I have seen bogging down a lot of people, getting into anxieties. And if you really dig deep, there is nothing to be anxious about because sky has not fallen. I mean, so my simple message or a simple statement is, I mean, if there is anything you feel कि अरे ये क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा क्यों वैसा क्यों, and go outside on your terrace or balcony and look at the sky, and if the sky is still not fallen, it means that's not the end of the world, and world continues. I mean, we have never seen somebody die of something, रास्ते पे मर गया, खाना पीना नहीं मिला या किसी ने गाली दिया इसलिए मर गया, किसी ने काम से निकाला इसलिए मर गया, ऐसा तो कोई होता नहीं है. So the Maslow thing that you mentioned earlier, we should understand what level of Maslow we are playing, and we should appreciate that the lowest level of Maslow is where the survival is there. उसके ऊपर कुछ भी होता है, third level में मुझे esteem मिला, that should not be linked to the survival level, your hormones. So what we see today is the survival level hormones get triggered even at higher level needs, which is something which we should avoid. And that level of a survival anxiety, fight or flight, etc., should come only when it's a survival issue. Otherwise, we should take things a bit more in our stride and take it easy.
Great message. I think the reference to Maslow theory of where we are all equals right now. We are all looking at very basic things like roti, kapda, makan. मेरे कैसा होगा, कल का मेरा family का क्या होगा. I think that is where all of us are. That is a sense of inclusive kind of a message that I'm finding. So Samir, great to have you on this platform, and thanks for sharing the insights. It's definitely
Shirish, thanks for inviting me. And this concept of Hatke, I think, is very good because there are so many people around us who are doing so many things, and this can be a platform where knowledge can be curated, culled, and shared. I think this is a very good initiative you are taking. So all the best to you and to Hatke platform. Thanks.
Thank you so much, and all of our best wishes to whatever ventures you are taking, and wish you always that smile that is on your face and energy for distributing that energy across. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shirish. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.